Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, July 20th, 2020. Today I'm actually going to go over Major League Baseball summer camp exhibition scores from the weekend and look ahead to tonight's exhibition games that are being played. Go over the soccer results from the weekend, look ahead to today's games in La Liga, the Premier League, and Major League Soccer. Go over the results from the Memorial Tournament. I'll go over the results from the weekend's NASCAR races. I'll do my 2012 top 10 NFL players and games. I'll rank the left fielders, center fielders, and right fielders and DHs today. And for the first time since March 11th, I'll have a best bet for you. How about that? All right, first we'll start with the exhibition scores from the weekend. Boy, it's lovely to see Major League Baseball again being played. It's a beautiful thing. So, Saturday's results. 3 games. The Yankees over the Mets 9-3 from Citi Field. The records are the spring training records pretty much. Yankees 12-8, Mets 8-10. Michael King gets the win. Rick Porcello the loss. King 4 innings, an earned run, 3 strikeouts, and a walk, giving up 3 hits. Rick Porcello, 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. The Phillies over the Nationals 7-2. The Phillies 15-5, counting spring training and summer camp. The Nationals 6-12. Aaron Nola gets the win. Max Scherzer the loss. Nola, 5 innings, a hit, no runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts. Max Scherzer, 5 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. So Max Scherzer, I don't want to overreact to that. You never overreact to exhibition. He was probably just looking ahead to Thursday night against the Yankees. The Indians over the Pirates, 5-3. Cleveland, 8-12 in summer camp / spring training, or vice versa. Pittsburgh, 3-16. Getting the win, Dominic Leone, the loss, Kyle Crick, and the save, Phil Maton. Zach Plesac got the start, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. And Joe Musgrove got the start, 3 innings, a hit, no runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. 4 games yesterday. Yankees over the Mets, 6-0. Jordan Montgomery gets the win, and Corey Oswald the loss. Jordan Montgomery was very good. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts. And Corey Oswald, 3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Orioles over the Phillies 4-1. Getting the win in this game. Oh, it doesn't say. I guess it was the starter Scott, and then getting the loss was Brogdon from Philadelphia. And it was interesting. It doesn't say actually the pitcher's box is very strange. Getting the win was Tanner Scott. An inning, a hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And getting charged with the loss was not Connor Brogdon. It was Austin Davis. Connor Brogdon, 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout. But yeah, very weird setup there for that one. Doesn't really say much detail. White Sox over the Cubs 6-3. This game was on ESPN. Getting the win was Ross Detweiler. The loss, Kyle Hendricks. And getting the save for Chicago was Cody Heuer. Detweiler for the White Sox got the win, 2 innings, a hit, 4 strikeouts. And getting the start for the White Sox wound up being Drew Anderson. 3 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Kyle Hendricks got the start for Chicago, 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Dodgers over the Diamondbacks 9-2. Getting the win was Mitchell White. The loss, Taylor Widener. For the Dodgers, Mitchell White, 5 innings, a hit, and earned run, 2 strikeouts. And Taylor Widener, 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. A lot of summer camp games tonight. Phillies-Yankees at 6 o'clock. So Joe Girardi back in the Bronx for the first time, although a meaningless exhibition game. Nationals-Orioles, 7 o'clock. Pirates-Indians, 8 o'clock. Astros-Royals. Cubs-White Sox, 9 o'clock. Angels-Padres, 9:40. Diamondbacks-Dodgers. And Giants-Athletics tonight as well. Now I'm going to go over the soccer games for the weekend and look ahead to the games today. We'll start with La Liga, which had itself an interesting Sunday. Barcelona over Alaves, 5-0. As you would have thought, Barcelona 25-7-6, 82 points. Alaves 10-9-19, 39 points. Villarreal over Eibar, 4-0. Villarreal 18-6-14, 60 points. Eibar 11-9-18, 42 points. Valladolid over Real Betis, 2-0. Valladolid 9-15-14, 42 points. Real Betis 10-11-17, 41 points. Osasuna and Mallorca ended in a 2-2 draw. Osasuna 13-13-12, 52 points. Mallorca 9-6-23, 33 points. Atletico Madrid and Real Sociedad ended in a 1-1 draw. Atletico Madrid 18-16-4 with 70 points, and Real Sociedad 16-8-14, 56 points. Levante over Getafe 1-0. Levante gets the upset win, 14-7-17, 49 points. Getafe 14-12-12 with 54 points. Granada over the Athletic Club 4-0. Granada 16-8-14 with 56 points, and the Athletic Club finishes 13-12-13 with 51 points. Espanyol and Celta Vigo ended in a 0-0 draw. Celta Vigo finishes 7-16-15, 37 points. Espanyol 5-10-23 with 25 points. Leganes and Real Madrid ended in a 2-2 draw. Leganes 8-12-18, 36 points. Real Madrid already clinched the league, so it was a meaningless sort of game for them. 26-9-3 with 87 points. And Sevilla over Valencia 1-0. Sevilla 19-13-6 with 70 points. And Valencia 14-11-3, 53 points. And now the Champions League. Some of these teams will be going to the Champions League, and that will start up in the middle of August. So we'll obviously cover that on the podcast when the time comes. And now we'll do Premier League results from the weekend and Friday. So Friday, West Ham over Watford 3-1. West Ham 10-7-19, 37 points. Watford 8-10-18, 34 points. Watford made news as they fired its manager over the weekend after the defeat. Burnley over Norwich City 2-0. Oh, I'm sorry, it was the other way around. Burnley over Norwich City 2-0. Burnley 15-9-13, 54 points. Norwich City 5-6-26, 21 points. And yesterday, Southampton over Bournemouth 2-0. Southampton 14-7-16, 49 points. And Bournemouth 8-7-22 with 31 points. Tottenham over Leicester City 3-0. Tottenham 16-10-11, 58 points. Leicester City 18-8-11, 62 points. You got 3 games today. 1 o'clock Eastern. You have Sheffield United and Everton. Sheffield United 14-12-10, 54 points. Everton 12-10-14 with 46 points. I'm going to go with Sheffield United here. It's weird. Everton actually scores a little bit more than Sheffield United, but Sheffield United, the difference here is that Sheffield United is much better keeping the ball out of their own net than Everton. So give me Sheffield United to get it done today, led by their talented goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. So Sheffield United, I'm picking to win this match at home. Also, 1 o'clock Eastern, you have Brighton and Newcastle. Brighton 8-13 and 15-37 points. Newcastle 11-10 and 15 with 43 points. Tough call here. I am going to go with the draw. Do I feel good about it? No. I think these teams are very even, although Newcastle is a better team in the standings. But I'm going to go with the draw between Newcastle and Brighton. And then at 3:15 Eastern today, you have Wolves against Crystal Palace. Wolves 14-14-8 with 56 points. Crystal Palace 11-9 and 16 with 42 points. I'm picking Wolves. They're the better team. They're home. And I think they'll get it done, led by their talented forward group, led by Adama Traore, Raul Jimenez, Diogo Jota, and Daniel Podence. So give me the Wolverhampton Wanderers to get it done at home today against Crystal Palace. And now I'm going to go over the results from the MLS's back tournament from the weekend and this morning and look ahead to the matches tonight and tomorrow morning. So Friday night, there were 3 games. DC United and New England ended in a 1-1 draw. So 1 point each on each side. New England's goal was scored to open up the second half pretty much in the 51st minute on a goal by Adam Bukska to give them the 1-0 lead. And then DC United ties it in the 73rd minute on a goal by Federico Higuain. So United ties it up at 1, and they end up in a draw. Sporting KC over Colorado 3-2. Sporting Colorado, or Sporting KC, comes from behind and gets it done. Colorado actually went up 1-0 in the first minute in a game on a goal by, who scored the goal for the Rapids here for them to take the lead? Kellen Acosta scores it for them to go up 1-0. And then it's 1-0 for a while. We're in the second half. Then here comes Sporting KC. They get on the board and tie it at 1 apiece on a goal by one of their talented players, Kiri Shelton. And then they go up 2-0 or 2-1 on a penalty kick in the 72nd minute by Alan Padillo to get a 2-1 lead. And then Colorado ties it in the 84th minute on a goal by Jonathan Lewis. And then we're in extra time in the 92nd minute. Sporting KC gets the game-winning goal. Graham Zusi, the defender, puts them up 3-2, and that's it. And Sporting KC gets the win. And by the way, Colorado had 2 red cards. In the 61st minute, Danny Wilson got a red card. And then in the 74th minute, Jack Price got a red card as well. So that wound up coming back to bite Colorado, although they did rally and tie the game after that as well, to their credit. But those were 2 big losses during the game for the Rapids. And then Real Salt Lake and Minnesota ended in a 0-0 draw later on Friday night. Saturday, you have Portland over Houston Dynamo 2-1. Portland gets it done. They get the early 1-0 lead, or not early, but the 1-0 lead in the 36th minute on a goal by Jeremy Abassi. And then after the intermission, they go up 2-0 on a goal by Diego Valeri. And then Houston gets a penalty kick, and they take advantage of it and get the goal. Albert Ellis. And then 2 minutes later, Ellis gets red carded. So that's tough for them. So Ellis ties it, but gets him on the board 2-1, and then gets red carded 2 minutes later for the Dynamo. So Portland gets the win on Saturday. Then LAFC with an impressive 6-2 victory over the LA Galaxy. The Galaxy actually went up 1-0 early in the game in the 5th minute on a goal by who scored that goal for the Galaxy? Oh, it was an own goal. So they got lucky there. Latif Blessing, own goal. And that was a Galaxy 1-0 lead. And then FC ties it at 1 apiece on a goal by Diego Rossi. And then Galaxy gets a penalty kick and goes up 2-1 in the 31st minute on a goal by Christian Pavon. And then right before the break, Rossi again in the 47th minute, 2-2. After break, this is when FC really puts it on. Bradley Wright Phillips in the 56th minute. FC goes up 3-2. Rossi again, the hat trick, 4-2. And then they keep pouring it on in the 80th minute. Another goal by LAFC. And that one was by a player that you probably wouldn't expect to score a goal. Defender Mohamed El Monir. And then Rossi again in the 93rd minute. So 6-2 final for the FC. Although it wasn't a pretty 6-2 because of the own goal. And there was a penalty kick. And that's what really is the reason why this wasn't a dominant shutout. But a good win for LAFC against their rivals, nonetheless. 2 games yesterday. San Jose over Chicago. 2-0. Both goals by San Jose were scored in the second half. In the 56th minute, they went up 1-0 on a goal by Christian Espinoza. And then in the 83rd minute, they went up 2-0 on a goal by Chris Wondolowski scores for the Earthquakes for them to go up 2-0, and San Jose clinches a spot in the round of 16. Seattle over Vancouver 3-0. Good shutout win for Seattle. In the 16th minute on a penalty kick, they get on the board on a goal by Nicolas Ladero. And then in the 34th minute, they go up 2-0 on the goal by Jordan Morris. And then in the 51st minute, right after halftime, Raul Rudiaz puts the cherry on top of the 3-0 lead, and they hang on. And then this morning, NYCFC keeps their hopes alive in the tournament with a 1-0 win over Inter Miami. NYCFC got their first lead of the tournament on a goal in the 64th minute by Ismail Tajuri for them to go up 1-0. And then in the 91st minute, there was a red card handed out to Juan Ogdello for a trip. So Inter Miami doesn't get a win in this tournament so far. Shutout, so no round of 16 for them. Meanwhile, NYCFC keeps their hopes alive. Going to go through the standings very quickly. Orlando City and Philadelphia needed that NYCFC result, or really no draw, for them to clinch a spot in the big dance in the round of 16. So Orlando City and Philadelphia each with 6 points, 2-0-0. NYCFC is 1-0-2, 3 points under Miami, 0-0-3. Group B, Toronto's 1-1 with 4 points, New England's 1-1 with 4 points, DC 0-2-0 with 2 points, Montreal 0-0-2 with 0 points. So Montreal's on the verge of being eliminated here. Real Salt Lake 1-1-0 with 4 points, same with Minnesota. Sporting KC's 1-0-1 with 3 points, and Colorado 0-0-2 with 0 points. So Colorado's on the verge of elimination here in Group C. Group D, Portland 2-0-0 with 6 points, LAFC 1-1-0 with 4 points, Houston Dynamo 0-1-1 with 1 point, and LA Galaxy 0-0-2 with 0 points. So Galaxy's in trouble here. Group E, Columbus 2-0-0 with 6 points. They look fantastic so far in this tournament. The Red Bulls 1-0-1, 3 points. Cincinnati 1-0-1 with 3 points. Atlanta is in trouble. They have to win today, or whenever they next play. They are 0-2 with 0 points. San Jose, as I mentioned earlier, clinched. They're 2-1-0 with 7 points. Seattle 1-1-1 with 4 points. Chicago 1-0-1, 3 points. Vancouver 0-2 with 0 points. And, by the way, Atlanta is in must-wins tomorrow night. So 2 games to pick for tonight. Philadelphia and Orlando City. Both these teams have clinched spots in the round of 16. Philadelphia, I think, is better. I picked them to win the group. So give me Philadelphia to get it done tonight against Orlando City, led by Alejandro Bedoya, Kay Wagner, Ilishino, and company. So Philadelphia over Orlando City tonight at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern, Toronto FC and New England. This is a good game. 2 good teams here. I'm going to go with Toronto. I just think they're a little bit more talented than New England. Pablo Piatti, Aiko and Kola, Jose Altidore, Michael Bradley. This is a very talented team. I like Toronto. So give me the FC over the Revolution tomorrow morning in MLS play. Now I'm going to go over golf from the weekend. Memorial Tournament, your winner was John Rahm. A good tournament for him as he came away victorious for the win. He finished with a -9. Second place wound up being Ryan Palmer with a -6. Third, Matthew Fitzpatrick with a -5. Tied for fourth, Matt Wallace and Jason Day with a score of 4 under. Tied for 6th with 3 under, Mackenzie Hughes and Henrik Norlander. 8th place with 2 under, Tony Finau. 9th place with a 1 under, Kevin Na. 10th place at even, Zhangzhen Zhang, Luke List, and Patrick Reed. 1 over, tied for 13th, Jordan Spieth, Brendan Steele, Xander Schauffele, Billy Horschel, and Harry English. Tied for 18th with 2 over, Justin Thomas, Patrick Rogers, Siwoo Kim, Scotty Scheffler, Steve Stricker. Scheffler was 3 over, tied for 22nd, along with Matthew Wolff, Keith Mitchell, Eric Van Rooyen, Gary Woodland, Brendan Todd, Ches Ravi, Corey Connors, Dylan Fratelli, and Christian Weisenhout. Just going to go through the notables the rest of the way. Tied in the 32nd with 4 over, Bubba Watson and Patrick Cantley and Rory McIlroy. Tied for 38th, Lucas Glover with 5 over. Tied for 40th, 6 over, Tiger Woods. Tied for 44th, 7 over, CT Pond. Tied for 48th, 8 over, a couple big names, Victor Hovland among them. Tied for 54th with 9 over, Phil Mickelson. Tied for 58th with 10 over, Zach Johnson. Tied for 62nd with 12 over, Brooks Koepka. Tied for 68th with 13 over, Tyler Duncan, and Cameron Smith, among those notable. A lot of big names cut early as well. Shane Lowry, Bryson DeChambeau, Ian Poulter. That was my pick. That was a bad one. Harold Varner III, Ricky Fowler, JT Poston, Webb Simpson, Doc Redman, Hideki Matsuyama, KJ Coy, Dustin Johnson, and Danny Lee withdrew earlier in the tournament. The next tournament is the $3 million Open from the 23rd to the 26th. I'll obviously have a pick for you guys on Wednesday's podcast. Now I'm going to go over the NASCAR results from the weekend. Interesting weekend to say the least. I'll start with the Xfinity results. Your winner, you would have thought, Kyle Busch. Not so fast. Because he was disqualified as the winner of that race, and it wound up being Austin Cindric, who was awarded the win after Kyle Busch failed an inspection. So he was indeed disqualified, which was quite stunning to say the least. So the results. Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, Justin Allgaier, Harrison Burton, Michael Annett, Jeb Burton, Brendan Jones, Justin Haley, Ross Chase, and Brendan Brown. That's your top 10 with Kyle Busch disqualified. Jeremy Clements, Jeffrey Earnhardt, David Starr, Jesse Little, Tommy Joe Martins, Brett Moffitt, Timmy Hill, Stephen Parsons, Bailey Curry, B.J. McLeod. Joe Graff Jr., Josh Williams, Colby Hallard, Chad Fincham, Vinnie Miller, Matt Mills, Anthony Alfredo, Kyle Weatherman, Ryan Sieg. That was my pick. That was really bad. Came in 31st. 29th. And Noah Gragson. Alex Lobb, Cody Vanderwall, Dexter Bean, Matt Snyder, Stephen Licht, and Riley Herbst. So, the big story coming out of that race, Kyle Busch failed inspection, costing him the race. And to the truck results from the weekend, your winner in the truck race, Kyle Busch, who rebounds from the failed inspection and gets the win at the truck race after being disqualified in the race earlier that day. Christian X came in second, Matt Kraft in third, Stuart Friesen in fourth, Brent Moffitt fifth, Tyler Ankrum sixth, Justin Haley seventh, Grant Effinger eighth, Ben Rhodes ninth, Ross Chase in 10th, Derek Kraus 11th, Raphael Lesser 12th, Ryan Truex 13th, Austin Wayne Self 14th, Ty Majeski 15th, Sheldon Creed 16th, Corey Roper 17th, Timmy Hill 18th, Zane Smith 19th, Clay Greenfield 20th, Spencer Davis, Cody Rock, Angelo Ruck, Spencer Boyd, and Corey Ogata, Timothy Vaines, Todd Gilliland, Jordan Anderson, Jennifer Joe Cobb, Austin Hill, Brendan Poole, Tate Fogelman, Johnny Sauter, Norm Benning, Natalie Decker, Tanner Gray. And my pick of, how'd my pick do? I don't see him. Thought I said, Austin Hill came in 30th, so disappointing finish for him. And now the Cup Series, your winner, Austin Dillon. So his third career win in the Cup Series, so good for him. He had a nice battle with Tyler Riddick there at the end of the race, and he came through victorious, and Riddick came in second. Joey Logano, third, Kyle Busch, fourth, Kevin Harvick, fifth, sixth, Eric Jones, seventh, Ryan Blaney, eighth, Kurt Busch, ninth, Brad Keselowski, 10th, Eric Almirola, 11th, Clint Bowyer, 12th, Chase Elliott, 13th, Ryan Newman, 14th, Bubba Wallace, 15th, Michael McDowell, 16th, Corey LaJoie, 17th, Matthew DiBenedetto, 18th, Matt Kenseth, 19th, Chris Buescher, 20th, Denny Hamlin, 21st, Chris Bell, 22nd, John Hunter Nemechek, 23rd, Daniel Suarez, J.J. Yeley, 24th, Greg Goulding, 25th, Jimmy Johnson, 26th, Brendan Poole, 27th, Reed Sorensen, 28th, 29th, Martin Truex Jr., that was my pick, 30th, Alec Bowman, 31st, Josh Bilicki, 32nd, Joey Gase, 33rd, B.J. McLeod, 34th, Quinn Houser, 35th, Ty Dillon, 36th, Timmy Hill, 37th, William Byron, 38th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 39th, Cole Custer, and 40th, Ryan Preece. And now I'm going to do my 2012 top 10 NFL players and games. We'll start with the players. Honorable mentions, DeMarcus Ware of the Cowboys. Obviously was one of the best defensive players in the league at the time. Robert Griffin III, Redskins, a huge what-if career for RG3, but that was obviously his best year. Andrew Luck of the Colts kept leading the Colts from comeback win to comeback win, leading them to the playoffs. Russell Wilson, Seahawks, pretty much the same thing there as a rookie. And then A.J. Green of the Bengals, leading the Bengals to a division title, and although they couldn't get the playoff win. 2012 top 10 players. 10, Ray Rice, Ravens. 2012, the Ravens made the AFC title game in that calendar year, nearly beat the Patriots. Ray Rice was their best player at the time, and then he helped lead them to a division title again the next season. 9th, Aldon Smith, 49ers. Aldon Smith, great player in his prime, helped lead the Niners to the championship game in the calendar year 2012, although they lost to the Giants. We talked about the Kyle Williams fumble a bunch on the podcast on my Bracket of Glory. And then, again, leads them to a division title and wound up leading them to a Super Bowl. 8th, Calvin Johnson, Lions. Calvin Johnson was the best receiver in football that year, although the Lions were abysmal. Although they were in a playoff game in 2012. 7th, Matt Ryan, Falcons. Matt Ryan was one of the best quarterbacks in the league that year, helping the Falcons to the 1 seed. 6th, Eli Manning, Giants. This is only because in the calendar year 2012, he helped lead the Giants to their second Super Bowl championship this century. He was the best player in the playoffs, arguably, showing off that clutch gene yet again. And he helped lead the Giants to some comeback wins earlier in the 2012 season, although the second half of the season was when he really started to show some decline in his career, which probably wound up being the end of him. 5, Aaron Rodgers, Packers. You question why Aaron Rodgers is this low? It's because he lost that playoff game to the Giants in 2012, and yeah, he did win a division title, but quite frankly, there are 4 better players than Aaron Rodgers in that calendar year. 4, J.J. Watt, Texans, the best defensive player in the league at the time, helped lead the Texans to a playoff win over the Bengals, and then yet again another division title that year for the Texans as well. 3, Tom Brady, Patriots. The Patriots had one of the best offenses in the league in 2012. Nearly won a Super Bowl in the calendar year 2012 as well. 2, Adrian Peterson, Vikings. His comeback was incredible that season. He won the MVP, but I don't think he should have won the MVP because, to me, the MVP should go to a quarterback. And that quarterback on my number 1 player in 2012, Peyton Manning, Denver Broncos. He was robbed of the MVP that year. He should have been the MVP. He was the best player in the league that year and helped lead the Broncos to the 1 seed in the AFC. And now my top games of 2012. Got some honorable mentions for you. 5 of them. Packers Seahawks on September 24th. That was obviously the Hail Mary game. Saints Cowboys, Week 16. 34-31 New Orleans overtime win. Dallas comes back from 14 down to tie it, but the Saints win it in overtime on a field goal, put a dent in the Cowboys' playoff hopes, pretty much. Texans-Lions on Thanksgiving, Week 12, 34-31 Texans overtime win. We all remember what happened with Jim Schwartz at the end of that game. 49ers-Patriots on December 26th, Week 15. I'm sorry, not the 26th, the 16th of December. 41-34 San Francisco. It was 31-3 Niners at that point, and Tom Brady led the Patriots back, but the Niners and Colin Kaepernick got some momentum and wound up holding on for the victory. Steelers-Cowboys, that same week, Week 15, 27-24 Dallas overtime win. Ben Roethlisberger throws an interception in overtime. Dan Bailey kicks the game-winning field goal. Cowboys keep their playoff hopes alive at the time. To your top 10. 10. Saints 49ers, January 14th, NFC Division round. That was the calendar year 2012. 36-32 San Francisco win. Alex Smith to Vernon Davis. And that was considered an upset, even though the Niners were home. The Saints were the favorites in that game. And that's probably because people doubted the Niners, and it was Alex Smith's first playoff game. 9th, Patriots Seahawks. October 14th, Week 6, 24-23 Seattle win. Russell Wilson leads the Seahawks to a come-from-behind win to prove that they're for real against Tom Brady and the Patriots. And the Seahawks defense gets a stop on 4th and 17. They'll hang on. 8th, Cowboys-Ravens, October 14th, week 6. So that's the same week. 31-29 Baltimore win. That was a crazy win. It was Cowboys were up, and then the Ravens took the lead, and then the Cowboys get an onside kick, or they tie the game, miss the 2-point conversion, so it's 31-29. Onside kick, and they get it. And then they're in field goal range. Dan Bailey misses the kick. Ravens hang on the win. Packers-Colts, October 7th, week 5. 30-27 Indy win. That was a comeback win for Indy. The Chuck Strong game against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. That was kind of the Colts prove-it moment. Everyone says that the Seahawks prove-it moment was against Rodgers and the Packers week 3, but that was the flukiest win perhaps ever because of that terrible call. But they proved it against the Patriots. But this was Andrew Luck and the Colts prove-it game against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. 6, Packers-Vikings, December 30th, week 17, 37-34 Minnesota win. The Vikings come from behind the win, and Blair Walsh kicks the game-winning field goal to clinch a playoff spot for Minnesota against their division rival Packers. 5th, Lions-Titans, September 23rd, week 3, 44-41 Tennessee overtime win. This was a crazy game. The Lions come from behind with their backup quarterback, but ultimately Tennessee gets it done in OT. 4th place, Steelers-Broncos, January 8th, AFC wildcard game, 29-23 Denver overtime win. That was a Tim Tebow 80-yard pass to win it to Demaryius Thomas. 3rd, Ravens-Patriots, January 22nd, AFC title game, 23-20 New England. Billy Cundiff misses the field goal, and the Patriots move on to the Super Bowl. 2nd, Giants-49ers, the 22nd of January, NFC title game. This was the game where the Kyle Williams fumble, as we alluded to on the podcast a couple weeks ago in the Bracket of Glory, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Giants get the game-winning kick by Lawrence Tynes to send them back to the Super Bowl. And number 1, Giants-Patriots, Super Bowl 46, 21-17 Giants win. Another classic Super Bowl of the ages. Eli Manning, Tom Brady, and Tom Brady attempts a Hail Mary on the last pass of the game. And the ball's nearly caught, but it's not caught. Incomplete. Giants win Super Bowl 46. And now for the rankings of outfielders and DHs. I broke this up in the left fielders, center fielders, right fielders, and designated hitters. We're going to start with the left fielders. 33 names on the list. 33, Jake Fraley, Mariners. This guy really should not be on a major league roster. It's because the Mariners have so many holes and injuries. 32, Ramiel Tapia, Rockies. Rockies have a platoon in left field. I'm not a Tapia fan all that much. 31, Anthony Santander, Orioles. Showed some flashes, but to me he's a 4th outfielder. 30, Alex Gordon, Royals. It's really sad the decline of Alex Gordon. He was such a good player in his heyday. Now he's not very good. 29, Justin Upton, Angels. Justin Upton, again, another player that just isn't the same anymore. Christian Stewart, Tigers, 28. Christian Stewart, I think, has some upside. I think that he could break out this year for Detroit, but his concerns lie on defense. 27, Alex Dickerson, Giants. I'm not an Alex Dickerson fan, but he's somebody that can hit a little bit. 26, Sam Hilliard, Rockies. This guy should be their left fielder over Ramiel Tapia. Hilliard can hit a little bit. He could take advantage of the Coors factor. 25, Adam Duvall, Braves. We'll have to take a name off the list. Yasiel Puig. I initially had him on the list, but he tested positive. So everyone I had up to this point gets a number up. So 32 Fraley, 31 Tapia, 30 Santander, 29 Gordon, 28 Upton, 27 Christian Stewart, 26 Alex Dickerson, 25 Hilliard, 24 Adam Duvall. So Adam Duvall is slated to start in left field for Atlanta. He obviously had that career year with the Reds back in 2016. Maybe made the Giants look bad for a while, but really he might just be a fourth outfielder that can occasionally hit the pinch hit homer. 23, Lane Thomas, Cardinals. Lane Thomas was interesting last year, showed some flashes, but he's an unknown, really. And so is the guy I have at 22, Shogo Akiyama of the Reds. Free agent pickup, had some solid numbers in Japan. This ranking could be very right or very wrong in either direction. 21, Corey Dickerson, Marlins. Corey Dickerson bounced around the league. He's someone that could hit, but I just don't like him on the Marlins. Maybe if Duvall doesn't work out, he should be on Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta trades for him if Duvall doesn't work out, so that's interesting. 20, Ian Happ, Cubs. Ian Happ, this could be the right ranking or the wrong ranking. Ian Happ is someone that's always had potential but really hasn't put it all together. He started last year in the minors and then finished the year in the majors and actually wasn't bad to finish the season. 19, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Blue Jays. This is someone that had a career year last year. I think he takes a step back. 18, Willie Calhoun, Rangers. Willie Calhoun's a solid player. He's somebody that is DH'd a little bit, but he could be a serviceable outfielder. 17, Tyler O'Neill, Cardinals. Tyler O'Neill, I think, should be their starting left fielder over Lane Thomas. I think Tyler O'Neill has more potential, but the issue with him is injuries. 16, Avisail Garcia, Brewers. I think this is a good pickup for Milwaukee. He had a good year at the Rays last year. He can hit. 15, J.D. Davis, Mets. J.D. Davis had a career year last year at the Mets, but I'm not convinced that he will repeat his success. 14, Andrew Benintendi, Red Sox. This is somebody that did not have that great of a year last year. He was number 7 pick in the draft in 2015. He could be a lot higher or lower than this depending on how he does this year. But I believe that this kid has potential still. 13, Brian Reynolds, Pirates. This guy's underrated because he's such on a lousy Pirates team, but Brian Reynolds can hit. 12, Franmil Reyes, Indians. Franmil Reyes really didn't put it all together with the Indians last year after getting traded from the Padres. I think this guy could really have a good year for Cleveland this year. 11, Brett Gardner, Yankees. Brett Gardner is still a very good left fielder at his age, good defender, good speed. Had a good power year last year, but won't be shocked if the power declines, although he's a good average hitter as well. 10, Andrew McCutchen, Phillies. Could be a lot higher or lower depending on how he comes back from that injury, but he was really good for the Phillies before he got injured last year. 9, David Peralta, Diamondbacks. David Peralta, solid player, can hit for average and power. 8, Hunter Renfroe, Rays. Hunter Renfroe, somebody that has a lot of upside but hasn't really put it all together. 7, Tommy Pham, Padres. Pham and Renfroe were traded technically for one another in the offseason. Pham should be an interesting addition for the Padres. He can hit. 6, Eddie Rosario, Twins. Eddie Rosario had a great year last year. A better defender to give him credit for in left field. 5, Mark Hanna, Oakland Athletics. Mark Hanna had a great year last year for Oakland. He's a similar player to Rosario in the fact that he's a better defender to give him credit for in left field and has a lot of power. He's a better power hitter than Rosario, but Rosario is a better average hitter, if you get it, like batting average hitter. 4, Jock Peterson, Dodgers. Jock Peterson had a great year last year for the Dodgers. My issue with him is whether he could stay healthy. 3, Michael Brantley, Astros. Speaking of guys that haven't really stayed healthy, he actually stayed healthy last year for once and put up the best year of his career. 2, Eloy Jimenez, White Sox. The reason why he's this high is because I think he makes a major jump this year. He has a ton of power. He's drawn comparisons to Giancarlo Stanton in his career, so I think that Eloy Jimenez is in for a big year ahead of him. And number 1, Juan Soto, Washington Nationals. This guy is special. He has a ton of power, speed, hits for average. I think he has a legit shot to win the National League MVP award this season. Now center field rankings. 30, Jacoby Jones, Tigers. Jacoby Jones has been around for a while, but I just don't think that he's really equipped to be a starting center fielder in Major League Baseball. 2, Roman Quinn, Phillies. Roman Quinn really shouldn't be starting in center field for the Phillies either. He's like a fourth outfielder at best. 28, Austin Hayes, Orioles. Austin Hayes showed a little something last year. He was somebody that a lot of people were high on a couple years ago, but kind of faded away and really wasn't living up to expectations. 27, Gerard Dyson, Pirates. Gerard Dyson is an interesting player, known for his speed rather than for his bat. 26, Malik Smith, Mariners. Okay player, bounced around a lot, has some speed, good defense in center field, can hit leadoff on occasion. 25, Kevin Kiermaier, Rays. A defensive wizard in center field, robbing people of home runs left and right. His offense, though, is dipped of late. 24, Harrison Bader, Cardinals. Harrison Bader has been used kind of as their fourth outfielder, but I think he should be playing. He's a good defensive player, and he's somebody that I think has some potential. 23, Trent Grisham, Padres. Trent Grisham was somebody that was traded from the Brewers to the Padres in the deal that sent Luis Urias to Milwaukee. I'm interested to see how he plays out in San Diego. He's shown an ability to hit. 22, Albert Almora, Cubs. Albert Almora is a better defensive player than offensive player, but he can hit a little bit. 21, Nick Senzel, Reds. This ranking could be a lot higher if he breaks out, but he really hasn't stayed healthy all that much despite showing some flashes in his brief big league time. 20, Danny Santana, Rangers. The reason why he's this low is because I don't think he's as good as his career year showed, and I think he's going to have a drop-off. 19, Jackie Bradley Jr., Red Sox. He's had a couple good power seasons, but he's really known for his defense rather than his offense. 18, Mauricio Dubon, Giants. He was somebody that they stole from Milwaukee in the trade. They have to put him in center field because shortstop's currently occupied by the aging Brandon Crawford. But Dubon's a solid hitter. 17, Oscar Mercado, Indians. Oscar Mercado showed some flashes as a rookie last year, but I'm interested to see if he follows up with another good season. 16, Jonathan Villar, Marlins. Jonathan Villar quietly had a good year last year, but he's on the Marlins, so I really don't know if he's going to have as good as numbers playing that bigger ballpark. 15, Brandon Nimmo, Mets. Brandon Nimmo is a fast and feisty player, good defender. He's an interesting player to say the least. Has a little bit of pop in his bat. 14, Endear Enciarte, Braves. His offense has kind of dipped lately, but he's a really, really good defensive player in center field for Atlanta. 13, Victor Robles, Nationals. This is a player under a lot of pressure this year to have a breakthrough season with the departure of Anthony Rendon because Juan Soto can't do it alone. 12, Byron Buxton, Twins. This is another guy under pressure this year. The Twins are just lucky that they've had other guys break out despite him not becoming the player that the Twins and the world expected him to be, which was to channel Mike Trout for the best player in baseball, but he's nowhere close. 11, Randall Grichuk, Blue Jays. Randall Grichuk's had a couple good years in a row for Toronto. I think he's super duper underrated, if you ask me. 10, David Dahl, Rockies. David Dahl, speaking of underrated, I know everyone's going to be screaming Coors at me, but he's hit over 300 in his time in the big leagues thus far in all the seasons he's played. He's a good power hitter as well. And he's shown the capability to hit on the road as well. 9, Aaron Hicks, Yankees. Aaron Hicks did not have that great of a year last year because he was injured, but 2 years ago he was awesome. He had 30 home runs. He plays great defense in center field. They can use him in left in times as well, but Hicks is a great player, and he's somebody that draws walks, switch hitter. But yeah, when he's healthy, he's a very, very solid player at worst. Number 8, Ramon Laureano, Athletics. This guy's been awesome the last couple years on the A's, and I think he gets overshadowed in his own lineup. Number 7, Lorenzo Cain, Brewers. Lorenzo Cain did not have that great of a year last year, but he's still Lorenzo Cain. He's a good defensive player. I think that this could be a bounce-back season coming for Lorenzo Cain. 6, Luis Robert, White Sox. If you're asking me why the hell a guy that hasn't seen a pitch in the big leagues yet this high, it's due to pure talent. And the fact that this guy is supposed to be a star is the reason why he's number 6 on this list. If he's really bad, he's obviously going to be lower. But if he lives up to the hype, he could be this, or he could be in the top 5, maybe top 3 if some guys get injured and whatnot. 5, Whit Merrifield, Royals. I feel like I underrated Whit Merrifield the last couple years. Pretty much because he's on the Royals, and the Royals are lousy. But this guy can flat out hit. But I'm interested to see if he's going to be on the Royals going forward. 5, Starling Marte, Diamondbacks. Starling Marte is a super duper underrated player. I think this is a very good acquisition for the Diamondbacks, and I think he's in for a good year. 3, George Springer, Astros. George Springer, when he's healthy, is a flat-out star. He can hit for power. He can hit for a little average as well, but not like a DJ LeMahieu per se, or his teammate Jose Altuve. But Springer has a lot of pop, and he's a big game guy, so he deserves this ranking. 2, Cody Bellinger, Dodgers, your reigning NL MVP. The only reason why he's not number 1 on this list because number 1 is the best baseball player in the world, Mike Trout of the Angels. So Los Angeles has the 2 best center fielders in the game in Bellinger and Trout. Bellinger is on arguably the best team in the league in the Dodgers. Certainly the best team in the National League in the Dodgers. And he's versatile, can play everywhere, but he's slated to play center field this year. And then obviously Mike Trout looks like he's going to play after there are rumors that he was going to opt out. And obviously he's the very best player in the game. And I think he could be in for another good season. And now right field rankings. 31, DJ Stewart, Orioles. This guy's just terrible. He shouldn't even be playing baseball. 30, Victor Reyes, Tigers. Victor Reyes did show a little something last year, but he's on the Tigers and it was a small sample size. 29, Brian Goodwin, Angels. To me, he's a 4th outfielder, and the Angels should improve that spot. 28, Matt Joyce, Marlins. Matt Joyce, I think, is past his prime. 27, Will Myers, Padres. Will Myers is literally not very good at baseball. They tried him in a bunch of different positions. He's a bad defensive player. He should really be their DH, but their DH is occupied by somebody else, which we will get to. And Myers, the Rays kind of knew that and thought that he was never going to be that player that they expected him to be. Although he was the Rookie of the Year back in 2013. 26, Dexter Fowler, Cardinals. Dexter Fowler signed the contract with the Cardinals. He hasn't really been all that great with the Cardinals. And the same can be said for the next guy I'm going to talk about. 25, Jason Hayward, Cubs. He signs a big contract with the Cubs and hasn't really lived up to it. Although he wasn't bad last year, but that contract is so bad. 24, Teoscar Hernandez, Blue Jays. Hernandez had a career year last year. I think we could see some regression. 23, Tyler Naquin, Indians. Naquin's this low because he never stays on the field. But he's a solid player, though, nevertheless. 22, Josh Riddick, Astros. Josh Riddick's a good veteran to have in the clubhouse. He's somebody that really has helped that team the last couple of years. 21, Jesse Winker, Reds. Jesse Winker's interesting. He was somebody else that was highly touted but really hasn't put it all together yet. 20, Nomar Mazara, White Sox. I think this could be a sneaky good acquisition for Chicago. A 20-homer guy. Good defense in right field. 19, Kyle Lewis, Mariners. The reason why he's this high is because of how much potential he showed at the end of last season and in the summer camp. He's been unbelievable in the summer camp, and he's somebody that I think the Mariners can build around the next couple years. 18, Aristides Aquino, Reds. This guy really was something in the second half of last season. Kind of reminded me of Gary Sanchez in 2016 with the Yankees when he first came up and hit all those home runs. And Rhys Hoskins with Philadelphia the year after Sanchez. But yeah, I think Aquino should be their starting right fielder. 17, Gregory Polanco, Pirates. Gregory Polanco, I think, is a little bit underrated. He was highly touted. He's been hurt a lot. That's his issue. And plus, he's on the Pirates. 16, Mike Yastrzemski, Giants. Mike Yastrzemski, somebody else has shown a lot of potential at the end of last season. I believe he popped 20 home runs as well. Had a good batting average, so I think he's there to stay for San Francisco. 15, Alex Verdugo, Red Sox. I think he's in for a good season coming up with Boston, and there's some pressure on him to perform because he was the key piece back in the Mookie Betts deal. 14, Hunter Dozier, Royals. Hunter Dozier had quietly a really good year last year for Kansas City. He's very versatile, and he's somebody that I think they're going to keep. 13, Cole Calhoun, Diamondbacks. Cole Calhoun is bounced around, or not really bounced around. I have a feeling he might bounce around. And he's somebody that kind of was frustrating to watch, although a lot of potential. 12, Adam Eaton, Nationals. Adam Eaton is somebody that is a solid player, but I always was critical for the Nationals giving up so much for Lucas Giolito, Reynaldo Lopez, for Eaton. But it all worked out because they won the World Series. They ended up overpaying Patrick Corbin, but Corbin was part of that team that won. But yeah, Eaton, I just don't think is that special of a Major League Baseball player, although he's very, very good and helped them win the World Series last year, obviously. 11, Stephen Piscotty, Athletics. This guy is super underrated. He did not have that great of a year last year. I believe his mother passed away last year, which is really sad. But Piscotty, I think, is a super underrated player on that Athletics team that I expect to be good this year. 10, Joey Gallo, Rangers. People argue with me that Joey Gallo should be higher, but he's somebody that doesn't hit for average. He has a lot of power. I get it. But he strikes out so much. He had his best season in terms of a batting average, but it was only 250. But yeah, there's some numbers I don't love with Joey Gallo, although he's somebody that obviously should play every day for the Texas Rangers. 9, Michael Conforto, Mets. Michael Conforto is a really good player. I just think he's a little overshadowed on that team by Pete Alonso, obviously, and then some of the veterans they have on that team as well. But Conforto is a very talented player. 8, Max Kepler, Twins. Kepler had the year of his life last year with the Minnesota Twins, but I think that he could be in for a little bit of regression. 7, Austin Meadows, Rays. Austin Meadows is a very good player. Pittsburgh really, I think, made a mistake by trading him away. He was really supposed to be, along with Gregory Polanco, their foundation for years to come, but obviously the Rays highway robbery the Pirates by swapping Chris Archer for Meadows and Tyler Glasnow and Shane Baz. So yeah, Austin Meadows, very good player. 6, Charlie Blackmon, Colorado Rockies. Charlie Blackmon's a star. I think he's super overshadowed because of Trevor Story and Nolan Arenado in that lineup. But he's hit over 300 the last couple years. His power's there as well. 3 straight All-Star appearances as well. 5, Bryce Harper, Phillies. Bryce Harper had a better year than people are giving him credit for last year. I think he could be in for a big year this year and is a possible NL MVP candidate. 4, Aaron Judge, Yankees. I think this is the right ranking for Judge for now, but if he has a year this year that was going to be similar or on pace to the year he had in 2017, then he could very well end up number 1. But right now, Aaron Judge is 4. He's been injured a lot the last couple years. He had 54 combined home runs the last 2 years, although he had 51 home runs his rookie year. But Aaron Judge looks healthy. He home run twice last night in the exhibition against the Mets. So who knows? Maybe Aaron Judge will regain his place as the top right fielder in the game. 3, Mookie Betts, Dodgers. Contract year, motivation, 2 years removed from a World Series and an MVP award with the Red Sox. I think being in that lineup with Cody Bellinger and Justin Turner and Corey Seager and all those guys, I think could benefit Betts. 2, Ronald Acuna Jr., Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr. is a up-and-coming star in this league. He really was awesome his first 2 seasons in the big leagues, but he has some behavioral and discipline issues, but I think he'll clean that up. He's still very young, but he's so talented and going to be an NL MVP candidate for years to come. And number 1, Christian Yelich, Milwaukee Brewers. Won the MVP in the National League in 2018 and would have won it in 2019 had he not gone injured. But Christian Yelich is certainly the best right fielder in the game right now, nevertheless. And now the DHs. 31 designated hitters on this list because there's a team that I think is going to be using 2 players at that position at split time. And we'll get the right number of at-bats to be in this ranking. So these are guys that I have slated as DHs for the season for the most part. 31, Matt Beaty, Dodgers. Matt Beaty is someone that was on the Dodgers for a little while last year. Showed a little bit, but I think this position is kind of stacked. But Beaty is somebody that really is unproven. 30, Josh Naylor, Padres. Josh Naylor was somebody that San Diego stole from the Marlins in that trade a few years back. This guy who flat out hit. 29, Jake Lamb, Diamondbacks. I've always been a fan of Jake Lamb. It's sad. He's just been hurt a lot over the last couple of years. 1 All-Star appearance. And that's really it. Like, Lamb really hasn't been able to stay healthy. And I thought this guy was going to be a star. 28, Jose Ozuna, Pirates. Jose Ozuna is a really good player. Versatile guy. But I think the Pirates are going to use him at the DH a lot. 27, Shin-Soo Choo, Rangers. Bad contract, but quietly wasn't bad last year. 26, Yoshitomo Tsutsugo, Rays. Player come over from Japan as a free agent. Unsure how he's going to do this year. I could be very right or very wrong on this ranking. 25, Renato Nunez, Orioles. Renato Nunez is not good. He did put up 30 home runs last year, but it's still the Orioles, and that was just a hot second half. But I don't believe in Renato Nunez at all. 24, Rowdy Tellez, Blue Jays. Another guy that really I thought had a career year last year, and I think is going to have some regression. Number 23, Hunter Pence, Giants. Hunter Pence is back with San Francisco after a year with the Rangers. He's somebody that had a good year with the Rangers before getting injured. And he's a veteran and knows what he's doing. But I think he's going to be their DH, although his better years, in my opinion, are behind him. 22, Garrett Cooper, Marlins. I think Garrett Cooper's a little underrated. He's played a bunch of different positions with Miami, but he's really not that great of a defender. That's why I think he'll be their primary DH this season. 21, Miguel Cabrera, Tigers. It's sad to see Miguel Cabrera this low on the rankings. He's just simply not good anymore. Not a good defensive player. I mean, he's still a big name and whatnot, but he's just not what he was 10 years ago. I'm sorry. Maybe even not even the same as 5 years ago. Number 20, Domingo Santana, Indians. He has a lot of potential. He's bounced around a lot. I remember him on the Brewers at one point on Houston. Good power hitter. 19, Jay Bruce, Phillies. Jay Bruce is a DH at this point in his career. I think this position benefits him. I think he's going to hit some homers out of that small ballpark in Philly this year. 18, Daniel Murphy, Rockies. This guy can still flat out hit, but he's just somebody that is getting older, unfortunately. 17, Howie Kendrick, Nationals. Howie Kendrick was a big part of the Nationals World Series winning team. I think he'll be their DH this year, and I think he might regress from a batting average standpoint because he had like 344 last year, which is insane. So I think he might regress from that standpoint a little bit, although he's a good power hitter. 16, Ryan Braun, Brewers. Ryan Braun quietly had a nice year last year for himself. He's somebody that's getting a little older and obviously not the same guy either, like Miguel Cabrera, but Ryan Braun at least is still somebody that is still producing good numbers. And Miguel Cabrera just really has not produced that good over the past couple years. And plus, Ryan Braun has stayed healthier than Miguel Cabrera. 15, Daniel Vogelbach, Mariners. Vogelbach is somebody that was in that trade for the Cubs and the Mariners. Mike Montgomery went to Chicago, and Vogelbach to Seattle. And Vogelbach is somebody that played some first base last year but isn't really that good of a defender, so he'll be their DH. 14, Miguel Andujar, Yankees. I think Andujar will see most of his at-bats at the DH position this year. He's playing time with Giancarlo Stanton. I don't think he's very good at third base, and I don't trust him as an outfielder either, so I think the Yankees will majority use him at DH and sometimes in left field because that's not really a position that you really I think they can get away with that, but maybe not. But yeah, DH I think is the right spot for Andujar. This ranking can be very right or very wrong depending on how he does. I think he's in for a bounce back year after being hurt last year. Number 13, Matt Carpenter, Cardinals. Matt Carpenter's a really good player still. Wasn't good last year. I think the DH can benefit him. Good power. Not as good as an average hitter anymore. 12, Yoenis Cespedes, Mets. Yoenis Cespedes, I think, can be in for a big bounce-back season. Going to be interesting to see how he looks. I think he'll be their DH for a lot. Him and Robinson Cano, I think, will split time there, but Cano still has a second baseman. 11, Edwin Encarnacion, White Sox. Edwin Encarnacion, I think, was a good pickup for the Chicago White Sox. He was okay last year at the Mariners and the Yankees, but struggled in the playoffs with the Yankees last year, so the Yankees opted not to bring him back, and he goes to the White Sox. I think he'll help Chicago. 10, Shohei Ohtani, Angels. This ranking can be very right or very wrong, but Ohtani, in the short amount of time he played last year, was really, really good. 9, Chris Davis, Athletics. Chris Davis did not have a good year last year. I think he'll have a bounce-back year this year from a power standpoint. And again, another overshadowed Oakland Athletic player because of the two corner infielders, Matt Olson, Matt Chapman. Number 8, Marcell Ozuna, Braves. Ozuna, I think the Braves plan on using as a DH this year. His defense has declined over the last couple of years. 7, Giancarlo Stanton, Yankees. Giancarlo Stanton had a home run last night and a double on Saturday in the summer camp games against the Mets. So he looks healthy and ready to go. And I think could be in play for the American League Comeback Player of the Year. 6, Nicholas Castellanos, Reds. He's this high because I think he's going to flat out mash in that ballpark in Cincinnati. Number 5, Kyle Schwarber, Cubs. Kyle Schwarber had a great year this year, and I think with the DH in the National League, pressure will be off of him, and he's going to be able to do his thing and hit. And he's somebody that I always thought was going to be like a David Ortiz type of player as a DH. 4, Jorge Soler, Royals. Jorge Soler had the year of his life last year. I think the Cubs to this day regret trading him, although they won a World Series with him. So Soler, someone that's very talented, led the league in homers last year, although he led the league in strikeouts as well. 3, Yordan Alvarez, Astros. It's amazing that someone that has only been in the big league 1 year is number 3 on this ranking. That's because he hits for power and hits for average. Your reigning AL Rookie of the Year. 2, Nelson Cruz, Twins. Nelson Cruz was unbelievable last year, hit for average and power. My only concern is that he's getting a little older. And my number 1 DH coming into the season, JD Martinez, Boston Red Sox. He's someone that hits for average and for power. He's going to be the man in the Red Sox lineup this year without Mookie Betts there. So there you have it. JD Martinez, my top-ranked DH for this season. And for the first time in 4 months, I have a best bet for the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. I am going to look at MLS for tonight. You got Philadelphia and Orlando against one another. English Premier League games are underway. So, best bet for tonight, for the first time in 4 months, my best bet will be Philadelphia Union plus 140 against Orlando City tonight in Disney in Florida. So there you have it, my first best bet in 4 months. Philadelphia Union plus 140 over Orlando City. So that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping the baseball summer league games, soccer. I'll have my starting pitcher rankings tomorrow, which is going to be a very long list and is still yet to be completed. And any other news that happens in the world of sports, I'll have for you as well. Hope you have a great day, everyone.